It's Friday, November 21st.
It unifies in so many different ways.
After securing investment deals in the United Arab Emirates, Prime Minister Mark Carney is now headed to South Africa for the G20 Leaders Summit.
Thoroughly both disappointed and, yes, caught off guard.
BC's premier says he doesn't want a pipeline in his province's north coast, but there are not many things he can do about it, with Ottawa and Alberta said to be close to a deal. Power ballad, everybody. Creed set to rock the Craven Valley at Country Thunder this summer. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday. We made it.
We made it. And I was at the Rail Yard Saloon last night, very late, giving away some prizes and announcing that lineup. And Creed got the biggest pop of the whole night.
I know. You're very excited.
Wild.
They didn't get any answers for question of the day yesterday.
No, nobody guessed that one.
But there was
But why would they, I guess, you know?
Lainey Wilson. That was a popular answer.
Yeah, and Riley Green, the other headliner. We're going to talk all about Country Thunder Saskatchewan coming up at 8:40 this morning. We got the in-depth on it. But if you watch my video that I posted on X and you close your eyes, you just watch the video, you think it was people on a roller coaster. Woo! Woo!
Okay, I have to go watch that now.
You have to do that. Just there's a little imagination for you. Let's get to news. Prime Minister Mark Carney is on his way to South Africa after wrapping up a visit to the United Arab Emirates with another pledge for investment. Carney says Canada is working on a project aimed at expanding critical minerals processing capacity that, once signed, will be valued at more than $1 billion. Speaking to the Canada-UAE Business Council, Carney also personally invited Emirati investors to meet with him in Canada to spur more major projects. The Prime Minister's office also saying the UAE had agreed to invest the equivalent of $70 billion in this country. This comes after the meeting with the UAE president, where the two signed a new investment protection pact. Carney is now flying to South Africa for the G20 Leaders Summit, something the Americans are avoiding. The Trump administration says it won't have any senior American officials there. The federal government is set to cut tens of thousands of jobs in the public service, but one department is hiring. The Department of National Defense is looking to add up to 3,000 positions by next March. Right now, the goal is to transition people from other departments. Any federal public servant working in Canada or abroad can apply. The department has already received thousands of applications. Canada's finance minister was in Regina yesterday discussing how the federal budget supports municipalities across Saskatchewan. Minister François-Philippe Champagne and Randy Golden, who is the president of Saskatchewan Urban Municipalities Association, spoke about a number of topics surrounding supports for nuclear and mining projects, housing, investments towards infrastructure, along with supports for municipalities dealing with public safety issues. Champagne claims the budget is tailored to Regina and Saskatchewan, allowing farmers to bring their products to the market faster.
We have critical minerals, which are going to be key to power the future. We have abundance of energy, and we have access to global markets. So I would say that when you look at the future, you understand that the federal budget is a key piece in order to make Saskatchewan, the prairies, and I would say even in particular Regina, at the center of the growth that we want to see in the country.
We are very encouraged in the budget to be recognized for the role that we play in the national building projects that are coming forward, or just in growing our country. So we were encouraged by that. Are there some nuances that we have to continue to talk? Absolutely. You heard me ask some of those questions.
The event took place at the Globe Theatre in downtown Regina, where renovations were helped fund by the federal government. Drug alerts have now been issued for Saskatchewan's two biggest cities after a spike in overdoses.
We're sitting, as of the 18th, about 182 overdoses for the month.
An overdose alert has been issued in Saskatoon after it recorded 104 overdoses and 2 deaths in just a week. The alert has also been issued for Regina, as we told you yesterday. The Saskatchewan Ministry of Health says many patients needed multiple doses of naloxone, and that the antidote doesn't always work. Saskatoon's fire department says there is an unprecedented year, with the department responding to about 1,000 more suspected overdoses than it did in all of 2024. There's a court case we've been following for a very, very long time up in Saskatoon. Jeremy Dodge, we're going to turn to you for that. Good morning.
Thank you, Daryl. Good morning. A former private Christian school director convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon has been handed an 18-month sentence to be served in the community. In July, John Olubabokin was found guilty of using a wooden paddle to hit students while he was director at Christian Center Academy from 2003 to 2007. The school has since changed names twice, first to Legacy Christian Academy, more recently to Valor Academy. A provincial court judge said the gravity of Olubabokin's offenses is high and said it had a significant impact on the victims. As part of Olubabokin's conditions, he must do 150 hours of community service, complete anger management and personal counseling, and he has a nightly curfew. Saskatoon police say warrant enforcement efforts created in the wake of the mass stabbing incident on James Smith Cree Nation have been effective in managing violent offenders in the city. Warrant enforcement teams were expanded and changes to their risk assessment were made so that repeat domestic offenders would be made a higher priority. The Saskatoon police say it has accelerated the prosecution of violent offenders and reinforced public safety. But the warrant enforcement unit had a backlog of more than 2,100 criminal code warrants when it began, some of which are no longer prosecutable. To date, the WEU has investigated more than 2,000 offenders, resulting in 354 warrants executed and 257 arrests. Well, Daryl, the city of Regina has released its budget book for 26-27.
Jeremy, for the second straight year, administration forecasting the largest mill rate increase in a decade.
Has forecasted status quo operating revenues of $636 million and expenses of $687 million. This leaves a funding gap of roughly $51 million. Closing this gap with property tax revenue requires a mill rate increase of 15.69%.
Citizens of Regina.
The mill rate increase of 15.69% amounts to an additional $396 per year or $33 per month for the average Regina household. It's accompanied by a utility rate hike of 7.82%. The city attributes the increase largely to inflationary pressures created by an historical capital and infrastructure deficit.
Mill rate increases in the past kept artificially low. And I think there would be some argument that perhaps they were, because politically no one wants to stand up and say we're raising your taxes, 2 or 3-fold.
And that's actually where
these forecasts are not set in stone. City budget deliberations are scheduled for 5 days in mid-December, when councillors will debate and approve any final tax increases. Shocking video to show you this morning of a train crash in Ontario that officials hope will be a reminder to you to be safe around train crossings. Right into the big dump truck. The CEO of Metrolinx shared the video of a GO train hitting a dump truck that stopped on the tracks Thursday morning. It happened near Unionville Station, if you know the area, in Markham, Ontario. The CEO says the crew reacted immediately, sounding the horn and attempting to slow the train as much as possible. You all know that's difficult to do. No injuries were reported, thankfully. Officials say events like this are a powerful reminder about safety. Country Thunder Saskatchewan has officially announced their lineup for 2026. There's the reaction at the Rail Yard Saloon last night in Regina. Lainey Wilson, Riley Green, and Creed will headline this year's festival. At the same time, a fireside chat was held over at another venue in the Warehouse District, where the mayor and the festival CEO, Troy Volhofer, discussed the impact of the event on Saskatchewan's economy and more.
We have now found a way that we're going to try to have something for everybody. So it's just not a country music festival anymore. It's a music festival. So there's a lot of different boundaries that we've broken down. We need to address more fans in a more broader way of enjoying music as a whole.
Other artists set to perform include Gavin Adcock, Cameron Whitcomb, Max McNown, The Dead South, and Dasha. Tickets on sale now. Country Thunder runs July 9th to 12th in the Craven Valley. We'll talk more about that at 8:40 this morning. As we get over to the Weather Center and that weekend picture, Kayleen.
Yeah, good morning. Well, yesterday we were talking about some precipitation on the way for Saskatoon this weekend. Now it seems like the radar has shifted a bit. That system coming in a little more towards the north. So Saskatoon, you could be clear from that precipitation this weekend. I'll show you that on our 7-day forecast in just a moment here. Let's talk about Regina right now. -5 to start the day. Yes, we do have some of those clouds up in the sky. The sun not going to be up until about 8:15 to 8:20-ish this morning. We do have some winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour to start the day. In Saskatoon, though, those winds are calm. Just a few clouds again, and we're currently waking up to -7. Now, we're taking a look at where we're going to be seeing those stronger gusts this afternoon. It's down towards that southwest corner, so areas even more south than Swift Current there, but Swift Current could be seeing them up to about 35 or 40 kilometers per hour. Other than that, other areas seeing rather calm winds today. Futurecast showing that we are getting some of that precipitation making its way through this weekend. So as you can see, this is today about 4 p.m. Prince Albert going to be getting some of those flurries and the freezing rain as well. Now we're not expecting that to actually be tracking down towards the south and reaching Saskatoon. So some clear roads for the weekend at least. Looking forward into Saturday and Sunday, we do see some more precipitation making its way in, mainly for Sunday afternoon there. Prince Albert again going to be seeing some of those flurries. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -10 in Stony Rapids. Buffalo Narrows at -7, -6 in Prince Albert, -5 to wake us up in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're seeing some warmer temperatures, and that trend is going to continue on into the afternoon as well. 1 degree for Swift Current right now, 1 degree in Assiniboia, -5 in Weyburn and Estevan. We just said, though, temperature is going to be warmer into the afternoon down towards the south. This is sort of mimicking what we saw yesterday, but some places could be getting a little bit warmer than what we saw yesterday as well. Swift Current up to 7 degrees this afternoon, 7 degrees for Weyburn and Estevan as well. Regina only reaching 4 degrees, 0 degrees though for Saskatoon, and then areas north of Saskatoon likely not even reaching those positive temperatures. Prince Albert up to -2. Here's a look at that 7-day forecast. We're still projecting that the south will be getting some more of those flurries starting into our early next work week. So Monday, 0 degrees though with that day, and then we see the temperatures falling as we head further into next week. -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and -9 on Thursday. In Saskatoon though, we're not really seeing as much of that precipitation other than Thursday. We are expecting to be seeing the snow start falling into the late evening hours as those temperatures drop down to about -9 during the day and -11 overnight.
The provincial government is giving $200,000 in funding to a Regina-based organization to expand grief and trauma counseling services. Caring Hearts gives a range of specialized supports to people dealing with situations like loss of a loved one to suicide. They offer counseling, support groups, healing circles, kids camp, and community support following traumatic events. Last year, they worked with more than 500 families and individuals to help them find their way through the grief of losing a loved one.
I feel very blessed in the sense that we also get to see people find hope again, and see that glimmer come back into their eyes, and I mean, that makes it all worth it.
And that person was in military.
The province is putting $624 million towards mental health and addiction services in this budget year.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Well, here's a kid that's living their best life.
Name the track.
Oh, I don't know. But what a voice, though.
What a voice.
What better way to celebrate life than a little kid baking and singing? This reminds me of director Corey. That guy can sing.
Yes.
Can he sing?
Voice of an angel.
Nothing's going to stop us now. Question of the day is the next thing we go to, and we are talking about the weird stuff that your kids say.
Yeah, this is a fun one, I think, but producer Nathan came up with it today. What is the funniest thing your kid has ever said? And if you don't have kids, what's the funniest thing you've just ever heard a kid say?
This goes on a rotating basis for me, Jeremy. Last week we were driving down the street on Albert Street, and my son says, Daddy, just remember not to drive into the grass or into the trees, okay? Like, is this a concern? Is this something?
Good advice.
Have you done it before?
Were we worried about this? Why did this?
Yeah.
Where did this come
where
from?
did you get that idea?
Right? Okay. How about you? Do you remember anything way back? Your kids probably don't talk to you now. They're teenagers.
They are, and to go back through, 30 years almost with two kids, that's
a challenge.
A lot. I can't think of anything in particular that would be good to say on television at 6:18 a.m.
What about your niece? Your niece
I was going to say, my niece says the funniest things in the world. So she's 3.5, and last week I was on FaceTime with my sister, and my niece was misbehaving. My sister said, I'm going to call Santa. I'm going to tell Santa that you're being bad. And my 3.5-year-old niece goes, do it. Call him.
Kids, right? What do your kids say? What do your kids say? Text us your name, the story behind it to 10400 or scan the QR code on your screen. Let's take a look over the city of Regina as we head towards our weekend. It's getting closer.
Come on in. Welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Jermaine Franklin with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we're heading to Sunrise, Florida. Devils taking on the Panthers. First period, Sam Reinhart skates down the wing, blows by the defender, and snipes one past Jake Allen. Fantastic goal from the Panthers superstar. Takes the puck and puts it through the D-man triangle, and then he gets the go shelf on Allen. That highlight reel goal is your must-see moment from Thursday. Friday on TSN, you can see PWHL action when the Scepters take on the Frost. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
The Saskatoon Festival of Trees is marking a big milestone this year, and our Mike Siona stands by with all the details. Mike, good morning. What's up?
Well, I'll tell you what's up. 40th anniversary of the Saskatoon Festival of Trees. That is what's up. And we have a brand new archway here at Boomtown with Raylene Kershaw, who runs the whole kit and caboodle down here. What do we have? 40 years.
40 years. We have so many exciting things on offer this year. We have these brand new arches built by Rick Steffen. We have 79 trees lining Boomtown, the highest number we've ever had. We have 24 gingerbread houses. We have a jewelry raffle, a 50-50, all kinds of fun things for people to experience.
I love it. And I bet you we'd even find a pear tree with a partridge in it somewhere along the way, too. Just fantastic. And, of course, all of this goes to support what?
Saskatoon City Hospital Foundation. So we're really proud for 40 years. In 40 years, we've raised over $3 million for the Hospital Foundation. So this year, the funds will be put towards 109 new acute care beds at City Hospital.
I love that. No better way to go through the Christmas spirit than to come down here. Show me, just like flip this clipboard up. Don't try and read that at home because you won't, but it's color coordinated. It is a slew of activities here over the next 9 days starting at 9 a.m. today.
You betcha. So November 21st through 29th, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. It takes over 250 volunteers to put this show on and 420 shifts just throughout our 9 days of operation, let alone all year, the planning committee that works on it. So
incredible stuff. And then some of the events here. I know the Santa brunch is coming up, daddy-daughter night. There's so many different things, right?
Right. We have a whole special event lineup throughout the week. Today and tomorrow, you can actually visit the holiday market, which is 35 vendors featuring locally made products. We have Royal Pajama Party on Sunday. We have Brunch with Santa at the end of the week. So check that all out on our website, festival-of-trees.com.
Amazing. We'll talk about some amazing prizes, some new things, and, well, we're just going to tour and explore while we can before the doors open at 9 a.m. today.
Wonderful, Mike. Thank you so much. Very much looking forward to seeing a little more of that throughout the morning.
It's School day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading outside to catch the bus in Regina, we're at -5. A little cooler than that up in Saskatoon, -7 to start the day. A few clouds in both cities. By lunchtime, sitting at 2 degrees in Regina, and by final bell, hitting that expected daytime high of 4 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. In Saskatoon, lunch hour at -4. Definitely send the kiddos out with a jacket for their recess. And by final bell, 0 degrees. Once again, that's the expected daytime high. Winds remaining low all afternoon long. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The common price to fill up this morning is $132.9, sharing that common price with Saskatoon. The lowest you might find in Regina, though, is $105.9, and the lowest you might find in Saskatoon, $119.9 this morning. Over to the farm markets now. The street price of canola starting the day at $588.02 per ton, and the futures price at $643.80 per ton. Amber durum wheat at $285.94 per ton, and red spring wheat at $253.15 per ton. And the Canadian dollar starting the day trading down, currently at 71.02 cents US. When we come back, we're teeing up the 60th edition of the Vanier Cup. Can I get a Vanier?
Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. The provincial government making it easier for cultural groups to have special weeks declared in their honor. Organizations will only have to apply once, and the week selected will be set aside annually. Wayne Mantika reports.
There's documentation required before the provincial government declares a special week in recognition of a cultural group.
People have had to contact our office or offices to ask for proclamation of their heritage and their special, occasions to be recognized.
The process must be repeated every year, but that will change through new legislation introduced in the Saskatchewan legislature.
They will automatically be recognized every year from here on, moving forward.
Representatives from many cultural groups came to the legislative building to witness introduction of an act called From Many People's Strength. Ukrainians will be recognized every September.
And now those many threads of Ukrainian culture that have been interwoven into the cultural mosaic of our province are going to be recognized formally and every year.
October will be the month set aside annually to recognize the contributions of Islamic people.
So we are very thankful to Minister Elena Ross for inviting us, especially today, to take this meaningful step to recognize October as an Islamic Heritage Month.
People from every walk of life will be recognized.
And recognizing the contributions, again, that the over 44,000 Filipinos here in the province have made. We are your healthcare workers, your friends, your family, your business leaders and entrepreneurs.
There are over 160 cultural organizations in Saskatchewan, more than the number of weeks in a year. Some groups may have to double up, but that won't diminish the recognition granted under the new legislation. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The government of Saskatchewan has selected 2 hotels to provide temporary accommodation for people experiencing homelessness. Public procurement documents show the province is spending about $1.5 million on hotel rooms for vulnerable individuals and their families. A contract worth about $600,000 was awarded to Country Inn and Suites in Saskatoon and $900,000 to the Travelodge Suites in Regina. The NDP is slamming the decision to put vulnerable people in hotels.
Not only is this a horrible use of taxpayer dollars, it doesn't give people the supports they need to get back on their feet.
CTV News has reached out to the Ministry of Social Services for more information on how these rooms will be used. The same hotels were a part of the one-year pilot project back in 2024. At the time, the government said the rooms would only be used when emergency shelters were full. Saskatoon's city manager says the city is not considering a homelessness levy. The city survey sent out less than 400 people from earlier this month asked residents if they'd be willing to pay a monthly amount to address homelessness. 63% of respondents said they would be willing to pay some amount. At Wednesday's City Hall meeting, City Manager Jeff Jorgensen said the city is not considering such a fee and said he was the one who asked administration to explore the idea in the survey. Saskatchewan NDP held a town hall at the Gallagher Centre in Yorkton Thursday night to discuss the need for a new city hospital. The major project has been discussed since 2011, but is yet to come to fruition. In October, Yorkton's Sask Party MLA David Chan told CTV News in an email that the government will deliver on its promise to build a new hospital, though he didn't share details about that project's timeline. Former Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland will soon be moving to the UK for a new role. It's been announced that Freeland will be the next Warden of Rhodes House and CEO of the Rhodes Trust. Rhodes House is an Oxford University, and Rhodes Trust is the educational charity that provides scholarships. Freeland is a Rhodes Scholar herself, getting a master's degree from the University of Oxford's St. Anthony's College. As the euphoria from the Rough Riders Grey Cup victory starts to wind down, some fans are voicing their displeasure with how the organization represented themselves amidst the celebration.
How about your Saskatchewan Rough Riders?
Few emails to our inbox about that line specifically right there. Most of the concern stems from Tuesday's parade down the Green Mile and at the Legislative Building in Regina. Players were seen drinking alcohol, smoking cigars throughout the event, but the biggest concern was some of the language, especially from head coach Corey Mace.
If any of us were bad people or horrible role models 364 days of the year, then I'd say, we should do better.
When he talks to his players, even if there's a camera around, I think that's fine. Let him say whatever he wants. But when he's out in public, in that respect, presented as this wonderful celebration, I think that you have to be a little bit more guarded.
Despite some of the negative concerns, many have praised the Rough Riders for their exemplary presence in the community throughout the 2025 season. We are one day away from the 60th edition of the Vanier Cup. The Saskatchewan Huskies and Montreal Carabins will clash at Mosaic Stadium tomorrow. Huskies' fifth-year running back Riker Frank knows all about representing the entire province.
It is a nice full circle moment for me, getting to play my last Husky game here back in my hometown. And yeah, this is a special game for us. We've gone through a lot this season on and off the field. It's no secret. So yeah, we know there's a lot riding on this one.
Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Great seats are still available. A game about a funeral may not sound like a party, but one Saskatoon man is proving otherwise. As Stacey Hine reports, a pandemic idea years in the making is finally hitting the market.
I was born without a blank, but I had an extra blank.
It's a pandemic idea that's now come to life. The party game Eulogy promises to put the fun in funerals.
It puts you and your party at a funeral, and the game's going to help you create the character that you're there to mourn the loss of.
Players pick a character card, name it, and follow that character through 6 stages of life using fill-in-the-blank prompts. Then at the end, one player delivers a 3-minute eulogy. Last fall, Barassa produced 30 prototypes and even bought a hearse to help market the game. Recently, the first shipment of 1,500 games arrived, just as he became a father to twins.
Yeah, it was kind of like the worst timing. It was our twins had just been born, and they were in NICU for two weeks, and then we had just gotten home, and then I got an email saying, your games are about to arrive.
He says the chaos is worth it because he believes in the game's potential.
I have the most confidence in the game. I have less confidence in my ability to take it there, but the game itself I have the most confidence in.
He estimates he and his wife have played the game about 1,000 times, and he's already thinking about a spin-off.
The title's called Till Death, and we're just going to create a wedding couple the exact same way.
Barassa is trying to get Eulogy on store shelves, but for now, it can be ordered on his website, eulogyboardgames.com. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
strategically placed.
I know more than a few people out there like, what a weird idea.
I know, but also I'm so into board games and card games and things like that. I'll try everything once.
Well, maybe they'll send us a box. What's going on in the weather forecast today?
All right, well, not a bad start to the day. We're still seeing some cooler temperatures this morning, but hey, we're entering the last part of November, so this is the time of year. -5 right now in Regina. We have winds coming in at 15 kilometers per hour and some clouds to start our day. Over in Saskatoon, -7, calm winds and mainly clear skies, just a few clouds up there. Let's take a look at those wind gusts now. We're seeing the strongest wind gusts down towards the southwest corner of the province today. Other than that, we're only really seeing them up to about 20 kilometers per hour in a lot of places to the east, so that's going to be nice to see this afternoon. We do have some precipitation in the province today. It's just really concentrating way up towards the north with all of that snow, and we have a little bit more of that cloud cover moving in for the afternoon compared to what we saw yesterday when we saw a lot of that sunshine. Into the later parts of the weekend, we do see up north clearing, and then we just have a much smaller system coming in for Sunday. Going to be bringing some flurries to areas right around Prince Albert throughout Sunday afternoon. Let's take a look at some current temperatures across the country. Yesterday, we took a look at this map here, and we were seeing some cooler temperatures throughout Alberta and Saskatchewan. Today, we're still seeing the cooler temperatures throughout Saskatchewan, just not seeing them as much throughout Alberta, seeing a little bit more of the warmth towards the west. Vancouver's already at 8 degrees right now to start the day. Later on this afternoon, though, not getting too much warmer is the issue. 8 degrees is the high today. Going to be seeing some rain over on that west coast. Calgary up to 8 degrees with mainly cloudy skies today. Some rain up in Edmonton today. 7 degrees will be the high, and Winnipeg reaching 1 degree with a mix of sun and cloud. Let's take a look at this 7-day forecast now. So today in Regina, you can expect a high of 4 degrees with a mix of sun and clouds. So still above the seasonal average, not so bad. Getting warmer for our weekend. 7 degrees expected for Saturday and Sunday. Mix of sun and cloud on Saturday, and a few more clouds making their way into the picture on Sunday, and then the snow starts on Monday. It's going to start in the early afternoon according to our radar and carry us through into the evening hours, dropping down on that day in terms of temperature to 0 degrees, and then dropping down even further as we make our way into the next work week. -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and -9 on Thursday, with some more snow on the way into the evening hours. In Saskatoon, 0 degrees today, -3 overnight, 3 degrees tomorrow, -4 overnight on Saturday. We do still have a low chance of seeing some freezing rain early in the morning, but don't worry too much about that. It does look like that chance has gone down significantly. 2 degrees on Sunday, -3 on Monday, -5 on Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud, -8 on Wednesday, and -9 on Thursday.
Global markets are sinking to lows not seen since April. The S&P 500 has now fallen more than 5% since its peak in October. Bitcoin is also down 35% over the same period. The sharp sell-off comes as investors brace for the Fed's next rate decision in December. Another rate cut is no longer expected. Gap reported stronger than expected sales in the third quarter, with comparable sales rising and surpassing estimates. It appears the celebrity-fueled marketing and revamped inventory are doing the job to lure in customers. Comparable sales were up 5%, with net sales up 3% year over year. Those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
It started in 1997 with a book called Deja Dead, and 23 books later, here we are. Kathy Reich's latest novel is Evil Bones, and we're very happy to have her joining us from the Carolinas. You're in Charlotte today?
I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, yes.
Okay, fair enough then. First of all, congratulations on the 24th book in the Temperance Tempe Brennan series.
Thank you. 24. Who'd have thought?
Well, there's the, I guess an easy way to start this off. It's when you began your writing career, and for people who may not know, you split your time between being in the United States, but also being a forensic anthropologist in Montreal as well. So you've been across the border a few times, and you have some Canadian connections there. But at what point did you say this will turn into a career beyond what my scientific career is?
The writing versus the forensic anthropologist versus the faculty professor at a university.
Yeah.
I guess I wrote the first book in secret, really. I didn't tell anybody I was writing it because, in a science department, you're not supposed to be writing novels. But it did well. And then I signed a contract for 5 books after that. And then at that point, I figured, I really better take a sabbatical. The university was very kind. They gave me a sabbatical. I ran that for 7 years and then finally said, maybe I have to retire and just be a writer full time. Well, writer and forensic scientist.
A writer and forensic science and television producer, because Bones was the longest scripted series in Fox television history. Maybe not for animated stuff, because The Simpsons has a lot of records. But let's talk about Evil Bones. This book starts off with an element, not an element. This jumping off point is animal cruelty. Have you ever come across that as someone who's been dealing with, I guess, your forensic anthropology
I have
studies?
had cases that would come to my lab, because when the average person, even law enforcement, find remains, if they're just bones or they're badly decomposed or they're burned or mummified, they may not know if it's human or not. So often things would come to my lab and turn out to be animals. So I have had cases of animal carcasses, I guess.
And one of your characters is a big advocate against animal cruelty. Is that something that's a part of Kathy Reich's raison d'etre as well?
Well, it's something I feel very strongly about. And that's why I decided to use it as a theme. Each of the books has kind of a theme to it. And that's why I decided to use animal cruelty in this book, animal abuse and killing of animals. We start off with the killing of an animal.
Now, just in terms of 24 different books, Skinny Slidell doesn't show up in every book. But when do you decide where a recurring character can recur again?
Part of it is geography. The books tend to shift between Charlotte, the Carolinas, and Quebec, Montreal. So if it's the Montreal end, then it will be Claudel or some of the detectives up there. If it's the Carolina end, it's got to be Skinny. I think Skinny's my favorite character, actually.
Fair enough. Hey, we are just out of time. We would love to spend more time with you, but we are running out of it. And so thank you so much for this. Evil Bones is the latest book by Kathy Reichs, and we want to say thank you again for your time today.
Thank you for having me.
It's November 21st, and we have a lot of people to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Dom, who just turned 13 years old. Welcome to teenagehood. Lots of love from your dad. And John, who sent in that photo, also sent in this picture to say happy birthday to his mom. We didn't get her name, but we hope she has an amazing birthday with lots of love from everyone around her. And we also got this picture in our inbox to send happy birthday wishes out to Councillor Malcolm from your constituency. We hope you have an awesome day and an awesome year ahead. A big happy birthday also going out to Beth. She's turning 8 years old. We hope you have a wonderful day. This shout out coming from your whole family with so much love. Also celebrating today is Kevin. Happy 65th birthday to you. Have a great day and enjoy being 1 year older. Turning 13 years old today is Chloe. This picture came with a message that read, "We love you lots," from Uncles Will and Chance and Grandma Carol, who thanks her daughter for blessing them with Chloe. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Kellen today for her 6th birthday. Enjoy your special day this coming with a lot of love from your mom, dad, Hardy, grandma, and papa. If you have anything you want to celebrate, send us your milestones to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. Please make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
You and I were there, my man. We heard the announcement, we heard the applause. Who do you think got the largest pop last night? I think it was Creed.
Oh, I think it was Creed. It was so unexpected, I think. That's why, like, Riley Green, Lainey Wilson, they're huge artists within, you know, the country music world. But Creed, man. And you and I, next year, we're going to be belting songs out, right? Let's do a Creed off right now.
No, we're not going to do that. You know why we're not going to do that? We don't have the music rights. What's going on the radio today?
Okay, I'm done now. You know what? We want to send you to Country Thunder, Saskatchewan. That's why starting this afternoon, late afternoon, all the way into Sunday evening, we're going to do a text your way to Country Thunder. So when you hear the code words, we're going to have a code word every single day. Just text it in, and we're giving you a chance to win. I think we've got a couple pairs of weekend passes for 2. So win your way to Country Thunder this weekend exclusively on Pure Country. By the way, Daryl, fantastic job emceeing last night. You're the best.
It was so much fun just to give stuff away. I never get to do that, so it was really, really cool. Thanks, Brandon. We'll see you again soon.
It's really cool. Bye.
The first teaser trailer is out for The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. Joseph Zada plays the young Hamish Abernathy, played by Woody Harrelson in earlier films. The prequel, which takes place 24 years before the first Hunger Games movie, is due in theaters next November.
I gotta believe there is something bigger for me right around the corner.
Listen, you are living in a dream world.
The Friends spin-off Joey didn't last long. The sitcom was canceled during its second season, and its final 8 episodes never aired. Nearly 20 years later, fans can now watch those episodes, along with the rest of the series, on the Friends YouTube channel.
Goldie Kirk, straight ahead.
Goldie Hawn is celebrating a milestone, her 80th birthday. The Oscar-winning actress began her career as a dancer and rose to fame on Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In, before starring in dozens of films, including Private Benjamin, Death Becomes Her, and The First Wives Club. Happy 80th birthday, Goldie Hawn. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
We play a game in-house where we guess the celebrity birthdays, and she was right on the nose, so she gets to go first.
I love Goldie Hawn. I will take this honor. TikTok dance challenges are all the rage right now, but here's a reminder that they should be done by the young.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it. So this woman found out the hard way that she's a little too old to be trying these social media dance moves. She injured herself during the first attempt. At least she was able to laugh through it, even though her legs and back hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Oh, geez.
She's got to stretch first.
That's the key.
Well, now to a teacher who hands out homework through his dance moves.
The sky is falling down like she's supposed to be. She gets down low for me, down like her temperature, cause to me
So this is Mr. Baxley. He's an English teacher in Florida, and he knows that high school students watch his TikTok videos, so he decided the best way to give them their homework is to do a video where he dances, and the captions, if you read them, are like, hey, your assignment's due on Monday, make sure you get it in.
The way that I would respect a teacher that does this so much, because they're going to try and relate to them, right?
I respect the beard game. That's a man's beard.
Pretty good, yeah.
That's a man's beard. All right, that brings us to the end of the hour. We're going to reset. We got your weather forecast for the weekend for the Vanier Cup at Mosaic Stadium and your day's headlines coming up in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us on Your Morning Saskatchewan. It's Friday, November 21st.
It unifies in so many different ways.
After securing investment deals in the United Arab Emirates, Prime Minister Mark Carney now headed to the G20 Leaders Summit.
We're doing the technicals on a new pipeline to the northwest BC coast.
Let's sit down at the table and figure out a path forward. But instead of that, all we get is a $20 million PR exercise from a premier who's in political trouble.
Alberta inching closer to a deal with Ottawa on a new pipeline to British Columbia's north coast, a project BC opposes. Wilson said to be somewhere over the Craven Valley in July. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
Big announcement, the big headliners for Country Thunder Saskatchewan.
I know a lot of people are happy considering Lainey Wilson was a popular answer yesterday when we asked people who they wanted to see.
And who would have expected Creed?
Yeah.
Out of the middle of nowhere. They're just enjoying this weird resurgence. I think it's TikTok and Instagram and that.
They've done really well in previous years, though, Country Thunder, with bringing in some music for people who necessarily aren't country fans.
Nickelback did their most one-day sales, I think they said, in history, which is incredible. We'll get to news. We'll talk weather in just a minute. Let's get on to the Prime Minister, who is on his way to South Africa after wrapping up a visit to the UAE with another pledge for investment. Carney says Canada is working on a project aimed at expanding critical minerals processing capacity. Once signed, will value more than $1 billion. Speaking to the Canada-UAE Business Council, Carney also personally invited Emirati investors to meet with him in Canada to spur more major projects. The Prime Minister's office also saying the UAE has agreed to invest the equivalent of $70 billion in this country. This comes after his meeting with the UAE president, where the two signed a new investment protection pact. Carney is now flying to South Africa for the G20 Leaders Summit, something the Americans are avoiding. Trump administration says no senior officials are going. The federal government is set to cut tens of thousands of public service jobs, but one department is actually hiring. That's the Department of National Defense, who are looking to add up to 3,000 positions by next March. Right now, the goal is to transition people from other departments. Any federal public servant working in Canada or abroad can apply. The department, has received thousands of applications already. And Canada's finance minister was in Regina yesterday discussing the federal budget's impact on Saskatchewan. Minister François-Philippe Champagne and Randy Golden, who is the president of Saskatchewan's Urban Municipalities Association, spoke about a number of topics surrounding supports for nuclear and mining projects, housing, investments towards infrastructure, and other supports for municipalities dealing with public safety issues. Champagne claims the budget is tailored to Regina and Saskatchewan, allowing farmers to get their product to market.
We have critical minerals, which are going to be key to power the future. We have an abundance of energy, and we have access to global markets. So I would say that when you look at the future, you understand that the federal budget is a key piece in order to make Saskatchewan, the prairies, and I would say even in particular Regina, at the center of the growth that we want to see in the country.
We are very encouraged in the budget to be recognized for the role that we play in the national building projects that are coming forward, or just in growing our country. So we were encouraged by that. Are there some nuances that we have to continue to talk? Absolutely. You heard me ask some of those questions.
Drug alerts have now been issued for Saskatchewan's two biggest cities after a spike in overdoses.
We're sitting, as of the 18th, about 182 overdoses for the month.
An overdose alert has been issued in Saskatoon after it was recorded 104 overdoses and 2 deaths in just a week. That alert we told you about was issued in Regina yesterday. The Saskatchewan Ministry of Health says that multiple patients needed doses of naloxone, and the antidote doesn't always work. Now, Saskatoon's fire department says this is an unprecedented year, with the department responding to about 1,000 more suspected overdoses than it did in all of 2024. Sentencing for a former private Christian school director is underway. Jeremy Dodge, the very latest, if you could.
Thank you, Daryl. Now, this man was convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon and has been handed an 18-month sentence to be served in the community. That was in July. John Olababokin, found guilty of using a wooden paddle to hit students while he was director at Christian Center Academy from 2003 to 2007. The school has since changed names twice. First to Legacy Christian Academy, more recently to Valor Academy. A provincial court judge said the gravity of Olababokin's offenses is high and said it had a significant impact on the victims. As part of Olababokin's conditions, he must do 150 hours of community service, complete anger management and personal counseling, and he has a nightly curfew. A Saskatoon jury has delivered a verdict in the case of a former massage therapist accused of sexual assault. Keenan Sorokon has the details.
69-year-old Kenneth Braun has been found guilty of 5 counts of sexual assault. The jury reached its verdict Thursday afternoon after spending almost 24 hours coming to its decision. Facing allegations from 6 female clients, Braun, a former massage therapist, was found not guilty on one of the charges. The 2-week trial wrapped up Wednesday when the jury was given more than 3 hours of careful instructions and considerations before being sent to deliberate. The entire trial and all of the evidence presented is under a publication ban to not interfere with a future court date. The Crown argued against Braun's release, but he was able to walk away Thursday with his release order staying in effect. Sentencing is scheduled in the new year here at Court of King's Bench. Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Daryl, the city of Regina released its budget book for the 2026-27 budget.
Not going to let a lot of people very happy on this Friday. The second straight year, administration forecasting the largest mill rate increase in a decade.
Administration has forecasted status quo operating revenues of $636 million and expenses of $687 million. This leaves a funding gap of roughly $51 million. Closing this gap with property tax revenue requires a mill rate increase of 15.69%. Citizens of Regina.
So that mill rate increase of 15.69% amounts to an additional $396 a year or $33 a month for the average Regina household. It's accompanied by a utility rate hike of 7.82%, so tack on some more money. The city attributes the increase largely to inflationary pressures created by an historical capital and infrastructure deficit.
Mill rate increases in the past kept artificially low. And I think there would be some argument that perhaps they were, because politically no one wants to stand up and say we're raising your taxes, 2 or 3-fold.
And that's actually where a share of that.
These forecasts not set in stone. City budget deliberations are scheduled for 5 days in mid-December when councillors will debate and approve any final tax increases. In 2026, the city of Prince Albert will limit spending in parks and recreation, and visitors to city facilities may notice a rise in price. On Thursday morning, the budget committee voted to cut $50,000 from the proposed 2026 budget for parks, recreation, and culture functional areas, hoping to limit the budget's impact of tax increases. The city plans to make up for part of the $50,000 by cutting $15,000 in spending, and says the remaining $35,000 can be generated in revenue if the city stops waiving fees for facility user groups. The director of Parks and Recreation says user groups who rely on waived fees won't be left without options, as there are existing grants to support recreation groups. Rates and fees at the Cook Municipal Golf Course will see an increase of 2.5%. A 5% increase in user fees for recreation facilities is also now on the table. Police are warning of a rise in AI fraud this holiday season. The RCMP and BC say scams are becoming more convincing with advances in artificial intelligence technology. Some examples include making incoming calls that look like they're coming from your bank or a trusted number. Scammers can also use voice duplicators to make calls sound like they are coming from a family member. Just terrifying. Country Thunder Saskatchewan has officially announced their lineup for 2026. There's the reaction at the Rail Yard Saloon last night in Regina. Lainey Wilson will join Riley Green and rock band Creed to headline this year's festival. At the same time, a fireside chat was held over at another venue in the Warehouse District, where the mayor and festival CEO Troy Volhofer discussed the impact of the event on Saskatchewan's economy and more.
We have now found a way that we're going to try to have something for everybody. So it's just not a country music festival anymore. It's a music festival. So there's a lot of different boundaries that we've broken down. We need to address more fans in a more broader way of enjoying music as a whole.
Other artists set to perform include Gavin Adcock, Cameron Whitcomb, Max McNown, The Dead South, and Dasha. Tickets are on sale now. Country Thunder runs July 9th through 12th in the Craven Valley, and we'll learn more about the lineup at 8:40 this morning as we turn our attention to the weekend weather picture, the Vanier Cup. And yeah, I give you a Vanier. That's coming up this weekend. We need to know what the weather is going to be like tomorrow, specifically around 1 o'clock kickoff.
All right, well, we're going to be seeing some very nice temperatures this weekend, so some positivity today in the Weather Center. This morning, though, cooler start to the day, and we are seeing a little bit more of that cloud cover than what we saw yesterday morning. -5 right now in Regina, some winds coming in at 13 kilometers per hour, and in Saskatoon, 9 kilometer per hour winds, so very calm to start the day as we wake up to that temperature of -7. Here's a look at those winds for the rest of the afternoon. We're not really seeing them pick up all too much around the eastern part of the province. Down towards the southwest, we could be seeing them up to about 35 or 40 kilometers per hour right in that corner there around Swift Current. Futurecast showing that we are seeing some more of that snow and freezing rain in the province today. It's just concentrating way up north, and then Prince Albert could be seeing that last little southern tip of that system making its way through. Then it's going to be continuing on to make its way out of the province into Manitoba by Saturday earlier on in the morning, and then Sunday we do have some more flurries on the way. It's going to be going right over top of Prince Albert according to our radar right now in the afternoon hours. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -8 in Buffalo Narrows, starting the day at -6 in Prince Albert. If you're waking up with us in Spiritwood, cooler start to the day, -12 right now, -9 in Yorkton, -3 over in East End, and -5 degrees to wake us up in Weyburn. This morning we're seeing warmer temperatures down towards the south as we look towards the afternoon. 7 degrees for Swift Current and some of that cloud cover this afternoon. 7 degrees for Weyburn and Estevan as well. Cooler through the central zones, 3 degrees for Yorkton, -2 for Prince Albert, seeing some of that snow as we just saw on the Futurecast, and -1 expected for the Battlefords. Let's take a look now at the 7-day forecast because we have to talk about the weekend forecast. 7 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday in Regina, so that's nice to see, well above the seasonal average. Dropping down though on Monday, and that is when we're expecting to see some of those flurries start in the early afternoon hours. 0 degrees coming along with that, dropping down to -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday with a little bit more of that sunshine, and then -9 on Thursday. In Saskatoon, we're seeing a mix of sun and clouds carry us all the way through until Monday, and then Tuesday the cloud cover is expected to increase as the temperatures drop down. But at least for the weekend, we're seeing temperatures still in those positives. 3 degrees tomorrow, 2 degrees on Sunday, dropping down to -3 on Monday, -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and then down to -9 on Thursday. Let's take a look at this rural forecast now. We are seeing some rain falling in parts of the north today and just barely breaking into the central zones. Melfort with some rain up to 2 degrees this afternoon, 3 degrees in Outlook with that cloud cover, and 2 degrees in Wynyard with a mix of sun and cloud. Down towards the south, definitely seeing some more of those warm temperatures. 11 degrees for Maple Creek this afternoon, 7 degrees for East End Cypress, Rockglen, and Assiniboia, 8 degrees in Coronach, and 5 degrees in Carlisle. Let's turn our attention over to Cut Knife, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 1 degree is the expected daytime high. Mainly cloudy skies all afternoon long, and some southwest winds coming in up to about 35 kilometers per hour.
Let's go back out to Mike Siona now, who's kicking off the 40th anniversary of the Festival of Trees. Mike?
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas down here on Boomtown. That is for sure, Jeremy. As you mentioned, 40th anniversary. I'm here with Raylene Kershaw. And 40 years, we're not resting on our laurels. Something new, something borrowed, something blue. Talk to me about this festival, Town Square.
This is a brand new attraction we have at the festival this year, presented by PCL Construction and custom built by Ed Kabelski. So we'll have entertainment throughout the festival, whether it's carolers tonight from 6:30 to 8:30. That'll be roaming Boomtown. We'll have a fiddler in this area this evening around 6:30. And the last Friday of the festival, we'll have carolers and a fiddler. We'll also have story time happening here with characters including Santa on occasion. So there's a lot to see and experience at this year's festival. And for the 40th, we went all out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It is amazing in here. We showed you the big arch earlier. You have to just come down and get immersed in all of the revelry that is this wonderful, wonderful event at the Festival of Trees. And let's talk a little bit about those trees, because there are 79 of them, but they are one of a kind, unique, and when they go, that's it, they're gone.
That's right. They are all custom designed by volunteers, and they are all one of a kind, very unique. We have 3-foot trees, 4-foot trees, 5-foot trees, 6-foot trees, wreath centerpieces. There's some really, really unique ones this year, including a Jellycat tree, Star Wars themed tree, Buddy the Elf, a Taylor Swift tree, the Grinch, so much more.
Yeah, there's tons. Even Stitch fans. There's a Stitch tree. I've been texting my wife, but there's no preferential treatment here. We wait till 9 a.m. like everybody else, and it's so cool. And of course, the gingerbread houses. We'll head over there next. How about that?
Let's do it. There's some really cool things over there.
Perfect. I understand there's a really big one too. Yes, maybe. We'll find out. You're going to stay with us this morning. That's all we're going to tell you.
All right, Mike, looking forward to it. We will see in just a little while.
Global markets are sinking to lows not seen since April. The S&P 500 has now fallen more than 5% since its peak in October. Bitcoin is also down 35% over the same period. The sharp sell-off comes as investors brace for the Fed's next rate decision in December. Another rate cut is no longer expected. Gap reported stronger than expected sales in the third quarter, with comparable sales rising and surpassing estimates. It appears the celebrity-fueled marketing and revamped inventory are doing the job to lure in customers. Comparable sales were up 5%, with net sales up 3% year over year. Those are your morning business headlines for BNN Bloomberg. I'm Lindsay Biscaya.
Oh, this is trending, and it's something that's tailored more for Kayleen here. This is a rare sight in the waters south of Vancouver Island. Think of this as a bit of a family reunion. A super pod happens when the entire southern resident killer whale population gathers in one place. That's 74 hanging out in a single space. The whales stayed for about 2 days between Victoria and Seattle, and no reports of them attacking any boats or people.
But if they had attacked the boats, I would be on their side. Those are their waters. I love orcas. I love them.
There it is.
Look how beautiful they are.
Free Willy. Question of the day. We're talking about the funniest things your kids say.
Oh, yeah, and we have got some funny answers so far. First, though, before we get into that, text us. The funniest thing your kid has ever said. 10400 standard message rates may apply. Let's get into the few stories that we have received so far. Jen wrote in and said, back in the day, my kids were playing gas station. After my son pumped the gas, he asked my daughter if she wanted smokes with that.
Oh, boy. Kids are always listening.
That's a good one. Another answer saying, I told my son, Mom is going to have another baby, so he would have a baby brother or sister to play with. After a very long pause, he said, I would rather have a baby elephant because then I can ride it.
That's fair. There's nothing wrong with that answer. I know when we were having Mateo, when we were having Arya, we said to Mateo, what do you want to name your baby sister? And he said, baby sister garbage truck.
Yeah. What else would you name your beautiful baby daughter?
That's right. So baby GT is home waking up for the day.
One more here quickly. When my son was 3, he argued with me when I said that I was older than Daddy. I asked him why he thought Daddy was older, and he simply replied, because Dad's bigger. That made perfect sense.
Yep. What was the other one? I told you the one the other day. Remember, Mateo said to Sarah, when I grow up and become an adult parent, I'm going to have a bathroom. And then when Arya finds a boy, and she'll become a parent, and she'll have a bathroom, and then there'll be so many parents in this house.
I can't wait for my daughter to get to the age where she's saying things like this.
He didn't need a partner, but Arya needed a boy so that she could become a parent.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
We want to hear from you. All those funny stories that your kids have said. Text us at 10400. Standard message rates may apply. Or scan that QR code on your screen. We're going to be sharing some more answers in about 1 hour.
Come on in. Welcome inside the Sports Center newsroom. Jermaine Franklin with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we're heading to Sunrise, Florida. Devils taking on the Panthers. First period, Sam Reinhart skates down the wing, blows by the defender, and snipes one past Jake Allen. Fantastic goal from the Panthers superstar. Takes the puck and puts it through the D-man triangle, and then he gets the go shelf on Allen. That highlight reel goal is your must-see moment from Thursday. Friday on TSN, you can see PWHL action when the Scepters take on the Frost. Coverage starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
Clues, one mystery to solve. It is a thing today. We've got our whiteboards ready. First clue is it is squeezable. That's Kayleen. Described as delivering a rich, smooth, homemade taste. It's no longer Kayleen. It is inspired by the Thanksgiving leftover sandwich from Friends. Is clue number
No way.
Okay, so this has got to be the... yeah. Okay.
Wait.
No way.
I think I know what this is. This is that...
Well, this is
Hold on.
oddly specific and...
upsetting. Deeply upsetting.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is really messy writing.
I'm trying to figure out which way this arrow is supposed to go. There we go. Is this going to work? Leftover gravy thing.
I couldn't remember what it was called. I put the squeeze gravy.
I wrote she hates, and I'm trying the arrows to you.
I put squeeze gravy and a sad face.
Yeah, Jeremy wants to try it. What? Okay, so let's scroll down. The answer is Heinz leftover gravy. Okay, so that.
Okay.
Just make the gravy. It's not hard.
Why not put it in a squeeze bottle for everybody?
Yuck.
It's squeezable.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Let's take a look at the school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus this morning, we're at -5 in Regina and -7 in Saskatoon. 2 degrees by lunch in Regina with a mix of sun and cloud. -4, though, in Saskatoon at that lunchtime hour. So definitely send your kiddos with some toques and mitts. By final bell, 4 degrees in Regina. Again, a mix of sun and cloud carrying us into the afternoon, and 0 degrees by final bell in Saskatoon. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in both cities this morning. Regina and Saskatoon, the common price is $132.9. The lowest you might find in Regina, though, $105.9, and the lowest you might find in Saskatoon, $119.9. Over to the farm markets now, where the street price of canola is showing we're at $588.02 per ton this morning, and futures price at $643.80 per ton. Amber Durham wheat at $285.94 per ton, and Red Spring wheat at $253.15 per ton. And the Canadian dollar begins the day trading down at 71.02 cents U.S. Next in news, we're teeing up the 60th edition of the Vanier Cup. Stay with us for the details.
7:30, good morning. Here's what's making news. The provincial government introducing legislation that recognizes the heritage of Saskatchewan's ethnically diverse population. The act is named after the provincial motto, "From many people's strength." It lays out the framework for declaring special days or weeks that recognize the contribution of cultural groups. Organizations will only have to apply once, and the dates selected will be set aside annually.
What this will do, this act will create a framework so that documentation supporting and describing the important roles that the cultural communities play within the act, and they will automatically be recognized every year from here on moving forward. And it will also provide us with the opportunity to add more.
There are over 160 cultural organizations operating here in Saskatchewan. And the government in this province has selected 2 hotels to temporarily provide accommodation for people experiencing homelessness in Saskatoon and Regina. Laura Woodward now with the price tag and the criticism.
This public procurement document shows the province is spending about $1.5 million on hotel rooms for people experiencing homelessness.
We are getting the best value for the ratepayers of this province, as well as providing a safe place for these individuals to go in crisis.
A contract of about $600,000 awarded to the Country Inn and Suites in Saskatoon and $900,000 to the Travel Lodge Suites in Regina. Both hotels previously participated in a one-year pilot project launched in August 2024, which cost the province about $1.2 million. At that time, the government said the hotel rooms would only be used in an emergency situation when shelters were full. The NDP is criticizing the renewed reliance on hotels.
Not only is this a horrible use of taxpayer dollars, it doesn't give people the supports they need to get back on their feet.
The NDP says the government should focus on affordable housing as a solution to homelessness.
There's more than 2,000 vacant affordable housing units in this province. The government refuses to fix them. They would rather dole out millions to hotels.
This government has invested $98 million to date in this area.
Laurel Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The euphoria of Sunday's Grey Cup win is starting to fade, but the memories will last a lifetime, especially Tuesday's wild parade to the Legislative Building. But a few fans have raised concerns over the way the team acted in the aftermath. Here's Damian Smith.
It's a monumental moment for Rider Nation as celebrations continue after Sunday's Grey Cup win for both fans and the team. But for some, the celebratory mood went a little too far.
How about your Saskatchewan Rough Riders?
The offended people, most of the people I heard from had taken children or grandchildren to the event and said, you know, these are our heroes, and I just really didn't like the way that the way that they were acting.
Head coach Corey Mace reflecting on the reception to his parade speech the following day, calling for a little slack as the team marks its first championship in 12 years.
If any of us were bad people or horrible role models 364 days of the year, then I'd say, you know, we should do better.
The four-time Grey Cup champion says that his comments were still under, quote, parental guidance, or PG.
Personally, for me, I thought that was pretty PG, man, the way that we feel. I mean, we want to do everything for this fan base, and we cussed. Sorry, but I hope you accept our apology.
Along with the F-bomb, critics say for kids to see their players and coaches, their heroes, drinking beer and smoking cigars in a highly public setting, it didn't make the best impression. But the Riders are far from the first team and far from the worst team when it comes to parade shenanigans.
If I don't eat breakfast,
I would like to take this time to apologize to absolutely no one.
That said, is a championship parade meant as an opportunity to thank the fans or for the team to fully celebrate their championship with them?
You know, I remember Tom Brady throwing the championship trophy around in the canal, and you think, things are getting, you know, is this right?
Despite any controversy, most Rider fans will be hoping for another championship parade sooner rather than later. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Regina police have now charged 2 more people in the death of a 19-year-old man earlier this month in Regina. They were called to the home on the 1000 block of 12th Avenue in the early morning hours of November 1st, where a 19-year-old man was found dead from a gunshot wound. 20-year-old Jaden Uchu is charged with accessory after the fact to murder. He appeared in court yesterday morning. Now 18-year-old Brandon Kesawadam is charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm and will be in court on January 5th. Also charged in this case, 43-year-old Dana DeLorme, 44-year-old Trevor Whitequill, and a 17-year-old girl with accessory after the fact. A 16-year-old boy is also charged with second-degree murder. Saskatoon city manager says the city is not considering a homelessness levy. City survey was sent out to less than 400 people from earlier this month, asking residents if they'd be willing to pay a small amount to address homelessness. 63% of respondents said they would be able to pay a little bit. At Wednesday's city council meeting, city manager Jeff Jorgensen said the city's not considering such a fee and said he was the one that asked administration to explore the idea in the survey. It appears the federal government is on board with the new pipeline Alberta has been pushing for.
We know that we've got a little bit more work to do on the technical side to be able to submit our pipeline proposal for consideration to the Major Projects Office. We've targeted the spring on that.
Sources say Alberta and Ottawa are expected to sign a memorandum of understanding on the construction of a pipeline to Northwest BC. The deal is said to include a partial lifting of the tanker ban along BC's north coast, as well as lowering or removing the industrial emissions cap. The pipeline project is heavily opposed by many First Nations and BC's premier. At least 5 people have been killed in a Russian drone strike overnight in Ukraine. This one happened in Zaporizhia, igniting fires in a market stall. A car that went up in flames also. Meanwhile, in Odessa, 5 people, including a child, were injured. Residential buildings, a vehicle service station, and an administrative building were also damaged. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says he's now ready to work with the U.S. toward ending the war in Ukraine, or war with Russia, rather. Under the reported plan, Kyiv would need to give up significant areas of eastern Ukraine and would be required to cut the size of its army down. The White House has pushed back on claims that Ukraine has not been involved in drafting the plan, which came after meetings with the U.S. and Russia. Zelensky also says he plans to speak with the U.S. President in the coming days about the proposals. The National Transportation Safety Board has issued its preliminary report into the crash of that UPS plane at a Kentucky airport. According to the NTSB, the left engine and left pylon detached during takeoff. You can see the pictures on your screen. Crews were able to recover parts of the left pylon where they found evidence of fatigue, cracks, and areas of overstress failure. The 3 crew members and 11 people on the ground were killed in the crash, which happened shortly after takeoff from Louisville. Fatigue cracks are microscopic breaks that can develop over time in an aircraft due to pressurization, takeoff, and landing. We are one day away from the 60th playing of the Vanier Cup. The Saskatchewan Huskies and Montreal Carabins will clash at Mosaic Stadium tomorrow. Huskies' 5th-year running back from Regina, Riker Frank, knows all about representing the province.
It is a nice full circle moment for me, you know, getting to play my last Husky game here back in my hometown. And yeah, this is a special game for us. You know, we've gone through a lot this season on and off the field. It's no secret. So yeah, we know there's a lot riding on this one.
Kickoff 1 p.m. tomorrow. Great seats still available. And if you want to know what the weather is going to be like, we turn our attention to the fabulous Kayleen Sawatsky. Good morning. Good morning. Well, weather is going to be really nice this weekend. It's just going to be as we head into your next work week that we see those temperatures going down, getting cooler, but enjoy it right now while we're still seeing some temperatures above that seasonal average, at least for a lot of areas down towards the south. -5 right now to wake us up in Regina. We do have some cloud cover and the sun not quite fully up yet. We're still waiting about another 40 minutes or so for that. Winds coming in right now at 13 kilometers per hour in Regina and 9 kilometers per hour in Saskatoon as we wake up to that temperature of -7 with a little bit of cloud cover to start the day, not quite as much as what we saw yesterday. Now today's wind gusts, we're seeing them increase in areas down to the southwest corner, even more south and swift current there, where we could be seeing them up to about 35 to 40 kilometers per hour. Other than that, as we look towards the eastern part of the province, seeing winds rather low today, only up to about 20 kilometers per hour in a lot of places. Futurecast showing that we do have a system impacting parts of Saskatchewan today, but it's mainly towards the north, bringing those flurries around Prince Albert, though we could be seeing some of that freezing rain as well. So be prepared for that. And then we're just looking forward to Sunday, where we have another system coming in. It's rather small compared to what we have been seeing, but it will be bringing some flurries right over top of Prince Albert there. -12 right now to wake us up in Spiritwood, -5 in Hudson Bay, -5 in Nipawin as well. 1 degree to start the day in Swift Current, 0 degrees in Moose Jaw, and -6 degrees to wake us up in Estevan. Later on this afternoon, we are going to be seeing those warmer temperatures down towards the south, where they're well above that seasonal average. So Swift Current with that cloud cover today,
up to about 8 degrees. 7 degrees expected for Weyburn and Estevan, 3 degrees for Yorkton. Cooler through the north end parts of the central zones today, so -2 for Prince Albert with those flurries we just saw on our screen, and the Battlefords reaching -1. The 7-day forecast showing we do have some flurries on the way for Regina. It's just going to be after this nice weekend. We're seeing 7 degrees for Saturday and Sunday with a mix of sun and clouds, just a few more clouds on Sunday. And as we see those flurries start to fall on Monday, we drop down to 0 degrees, -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and then down to -9 on Thursday. In Saskatoon, the weekend, again, looking positive. 3 degrees on Saturday, 2 degrees on Sunday, dropping down next week to -3 on Monday. We're not really seeing as much of those flurries in the central zone. -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and down to -9 on Thursday.
Here's what's happening in our community. A Christmas decor and bake sale November 20th and 21st at 9:30 a.m. at the Balcarres Golden Age Center in Balcarres. Quilts and More sale happening November 21st and 22nd at 10 a.m. This is happening at Holy Family Church, 1021 McCarthy Boulevard North. And a concert out in Sturgis at the Community Hall Friday, November 21st. Starts at 7:30 p.m. For more information, call 306-547-7068. If you'd like your event shown here, email us, Regina Community at bellmedia.ca at least 2 weeks in advance.
Wardrobe consideration by Colin O'Brien Man's Shop, defining contemporary style for over 20 years.
As we enter the Christmas season, you may be looking for a way to help brighten other people's lives in this time of giving. The Brighten a Light to Brighten a Life campaign is on now at the North Central Family Center, and we have Kimberly and Tamara here to tell us about it. Good morning to you both, and welcome to the studio.
Good morning, thank you.
Kimberly, I'm going to come over to you first. Let's talk about the North Central Family Center. Who are you and what it is that you do?
Absolutely, thanks for having us. So we've been around for 23 years. We're a local charitable nonprofit organization, so we're located at the corner of 5th and Robinson Street. Our mission is to be a safe and supportive environment for children, youth, and their families, and to provide programs and activities that, promote self-esteem, self-confidence, and enhance quality of life. So how do we do that? We're open Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. with the occasional opportunities on weekends. We have more adult-centered programming during the day, so we have a drop-in center where we give away donations that we collect from the wider community, and so that could be clothing, footwear, household items, hygiene products, baby products, all sorts of things. But we also have very caring employees there, our outreach workers, who really meet people where they're at and support them in whatever situation they're facing that day. It could be a challenge or a crisis. We also have a team of housing support workers who work with people experiencing houselessness and really find them housing first, but provide those wraparound supports so they can really be stable in their housing. Come 3 o'clock, we shut down and we become all about children and youth, and so we serve children's ages 6 to 17. We provide an after-school snack, activities, supper, evening activities and programs, and then also drive them home. So we do a lot. It's really hard to say. It's preventative, it's intervention. It's really just about connection, though, and being there for people, meeting them where they're at, and we think that's really impactful.
So your team remains busy in helping the community, yes. But it's an amazing organization to help support, because you can't do it without the help. So let's talk about this campaign, Tamara. Brighten a Light to Brighten a Life. What is it, and how can we help?
Absolutely. So it is our annual holiday campaign. Our goal this year is to brighten 2,500 lights, and we have put a value of $50 on it per light bulb, but we welcome any contribution. Right? Team up with your friends, your family, your coworkers, organize a little challenge as well, or we will just pull it with other contributions to light up a light. We've also partnered with local businesses who have agreed to sell light bulbs for us. So if you're a business and want to get involved, please feel free to reach out to me. More information on the campaign can be found at ncfc.ca. We accept cash, check, e-transfer, credit card, stock securities, you name it. And if anybody wants to learn more about our organization as well, we would be happy to tell them more.
All right. Thank you both so much for your time. Once again, an amazing organization to support. Brighten a Light to help brighten a life. Head on over to NCFC for more information.
Here's what's happening in our community. Christmas in November, specifically on September 22nd. It's a Saturday, starts at 10 a.m. 125 3rd Avenue North in Yorkton. There's a bake sale and raffle involved. 16th Annual Lions Craft Sale, Sunday, November 23rd, starts at 11 a.m. This is happening at the Boreen Community Center out in Esterhazy. Pierogi and Meatballs Fall Supper happens Sunday, November 23rd at 5 p.m. out in Sturgis at the Grace United Church. Call 306-547-7068. If you'd like your event shown here, simple. All you got to do is email us, reginacommunity@bellmedia.ca, at least 2 weeks in advance.
It's November 21st, and we have a lot of people to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated birthday wish going out to Dom, who just turned 13 years old. Welcome to teenagehood. Lots of love from your dad. And John, who sent in that photo, also sent in this picture to say happy birthday to his mom. We didn't get her name, but we hope she has an amazing birthday with lots of love from everyone around her. And we also got this picture in our inbox to send happy birthday wishes out to Councillor Malcolm from your constituency. We hope you have an awesome day and an awesome year ahead. A big happy birthday also going out to Beth. She's turning 8 years old. We hope you have a wonderful day. This shout out coming from your whole family with so much love. Also celebrating today is Kevin. Happy 65th birthday to you. Have a great day and enjoy being 1 year older. Turning 13 years old today is Chloe. This picture came with a message that read, "We love you lots," from Uncles Will and Chance and Grandma Carol, who thanks her daughter for blessing them with Chloe. Happy birthday wishes also going out to Kellen today for her 6th birthday. Enjoy your special day this coming with a lot of love from your mom, dad, Hardy, grandma, and papa. If you have anything you want to celebrate, send us your milestones to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca. Please make sure you send those in 1 day in advance.
All right, so headliners aside, who are you most excited for? For me, it's probably Max McNown.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, or Cameron Whitcomb.
Oh, I thought it was Gavin Adcock.
Yeah, oh.
That's a party.
Yeah, Gavin Adcock.
Especially if Zach Bryan shows up and they fight.
Yeah. That would be nice. And then Creed in the background singing Power Bell. Oh, that would be so good. My dream. Speaking of, all weekend long, listen, we've got code words for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's our winning weekend. So if you listen and hear the code words, you text that code word back to us, and you can win a pair of weekend passes to see Gavin Adcock hopefully fight somebody or sing well. That's all weekend right here at Pure Country. You can listen to us you can stream us on our website, or of course, download the iHeartRadio app. Speaking of winning, playing for love, Pride Not Prize coming up. Is our big useless question of the day, which is the average person says this thing 5 times a day. I'll let you think about it. You can text us at 54321.
Well, that's easy, and it clears up finishing off a bet because I forgot in the third hour yesterday to profess my undying love for Brandon Hall, the most talented radio man in all of the province of Saskatchewan. So there you go. They're 3 for 3. Boom. Bet paid.
Love you too. Bye. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Only hope is in a leader strong enough to unite it.
Big news for Game of Thrones fans. The spin-off series House of the Dragon has been renewed for season 4, while season 3 of the fantasy show is scheduled to debut next summer. The weekend's ongoing tour has become the top-earning tour ever for a male solo artist. The Blinding Lights singer has sold over 7.5 million tickets, raking in more than $1 billion across 53 shows. And he's not done yet. Starting early next year, the weekend heads to Mexico, Brazil, and the UK. It's almost time for the 50th Hunger Games. Lionsgate released the first trailer for The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. The film is set to release on November 26th of next year.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them.
The second season of Landman is off to a strong start. Paramount says the season premiere brought in 9.2 million views in its first 2 days of streaming of The Taylor Sheridan Show. And a happy birthday to NFL Hall of Famer and ABC's own Michael Strahan, who is 54 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
Danny
Well, there's also an old saying that says you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but not these dogs. we know how Jeremy Dodge feels about clothing on dogs. How does he feel about life jackets so they can swim?
Well, yeah, especially these little guys with their tiny little legs. This is a good thing.
It'd be even better if it was corgis and their ridiculous tiny little legs.
Oh.
I love corgis so much.
This looks to be a designated dog swimming school based on the website I saw on the side there. So, okay.
I love that. I'm here for it.
What a business.
What else you got for us, Kaylee?
All right. Well, it's always nice to receive some surprising good news. Just ask a toddler.
Your birthday. It's your birthday.
My birthday?
Yeah.
My birthday?
Yeah.
Yay!
What a nice way for this little one to start her day.
That's awesome.
You just get to learn it's your birthday.
There you go.
Happy birthday to her. I'm sure it was long past now, but happy birthday.
My kid's been asking when his birthday is every day. It's like 6 months away, bro. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm so sorry. Time out. More Your Morning Saskatchewan's coming up. Welcome to Friday, November 21st.
It unifies in so many different ways.
After securing investment deals in the United Arab Emirates, Prime Minister Mark Carney is now headed to South Africa for the G20. The government has introduced legislation that recognizes the heritage of Saskatchewan's ethnically diverse population. Is a man's mustache. Riley Green will be heating up the Craven Valley at Country Thunder in 2026. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Happy Friday.
Thank you so much for being with us. We do appreciate you. Remember to keep sending those birthdays, anniversaries, all those celebrations into milestones. There's a QR code on the L frame on the enhanced screen that I know all of you love so much on the side of your screen.
Also, we're asking you today about the funniest thing your kid has ever said. That's our question of the day. We're going to be sharing those answers in about 20 minutes here. 10400 though, standard message rates may apply. Tell me, what's the funniest thing your kid ever said?
I actually went down to the Paper Umbrella in Regina, and there's a book that catalogs all of the things your kids say. So over time, we just, because you'll never remember them all, right? So we have
that's a good one. I like that. Okay, I have a little stop to make today.
There you go. Time out. We're going to do some news. Let's go to Prime Minister Mark Carney, ending his trip to the UAE, a trip with a strong focus on strengthening the ties between our two countries. Rachel Aiello reports.
Speaking to a room full of business leaders, both from Canada and the UAE here today, Prime Minister Mark Carney really sought to emphasize the economic alignment between the two countries. He said that he is hoping to soon reap the benefits of the new Foreign Investment Protection Agreement and get to work on closing those trade talks with the UAE within the next year. The Prime Minister made a point of saying, while the two countries may be as different on the surface as snow and sand, there are a lot that unite them. The Prime Minister also previewed a new critical mineral partnership, suggesting it could be worth up to $1 billion to boost processing capacity in Canada. The Prime Minister also spoke about how there's going to be an increase in movement of top wealth officials from both countries going back and forth, and that may be eased by an announcement of additional direct flights between the two countries. Speaking to reporters briefly just before his speech, really focused on the business side, the Prime Minister did confirm to reporters that during his high-level one-on-one sit-down yesterday with the UAE president, he did raise Canada's concerns about the issue in Sudan directly, but didn't really elaborate on what exactly was discussed. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Abu Dhabi.
Rachel, Canada's finance minister was in Regina yesterday discussing how the federal budget supports municipalities, he says, in Saskatchewan. Minister François-Philippe Champagne and Randy Golden, who is the president of Saskatchewan's Urban Municipalities Association, spoke about a number of topics about supporting nuclear and mining projects, housing, investments towards infrastructure, along with supports for municipalities dealing with public safety issues. Champagne says, or at least claims, that the budget is tailored to Regina and Saskatchewan, allowing farmers to get their products to market faster.
We
We have critical minerals, which are going to be key to power the future. We have an abundance of energy, and we have access to global markets. So I would say that when you look at the future, you understand that the federal budget is a key piece in order to make Saskatchewan, the prairies, and I would say even in particular Regina, at the center of the growth that we want to see in the country.
We are very encouraged in the budget to be recognized for the role that we play in the national building projects that are coming forward, or just in growing our country. So we were encouraged by that. Are there some nuances that we have to continue to talk? Absolutely. You heard me ask some of those questions.
The event took place at the Globe Theatre in downtown Regina, where the renovations were funded in part by the federal government. Next month, Regina City Council will finalize its budget for the next 2 years, and now we're getting our first look at what increases may be on the horizon. Donovan Mace reports.
City administration is giving Regina residents a first look at the 2026 budget.
Forecasted status quo operating revenues of $636 million and expenses of $687 million. This leaves a funding gap of roughly $51 million.
And there's only one way to close it.
With property tax revenue requires a mill rate increase of 15.69%.
15.69% is the largest forecasted mill rate increase in more than a decade and more than double what council approved for 2025. It is accompanied with a utility rate hike of nearly 8%. And in total, the average Regina household could see its city expenses increase by nearly $50 a month, adding up to around $537 per year. Now, this forecast is based on what administration says is needed to keep the city's current service levels, plus priorities outlined by council over the past year.
It's hard to maintain what that impact is overall when you're doing these small little slices. So it puts a lot of pressure on the finance team to make sure that we haven't forgotten or overlooked any of these small little increases.
Acting City Manager Jim Nichols says Regina continues to battle aging infrastructure, and the tax increases are essential to address a growing deficit.
Mill rate increases in the past kept artificially low. And I think there would be some argument that perhaps they were, because politically no one wants to stand up and say we're raising your taxes, 2 or 3-fold.
But there is time for this forecast to change as council works towards less drastic increases in the future.
But the math is the math, and we have to look at what is in front of us today to find a balance between the cost of delivering the services residents expect and the affordability that residents are looking for.
Now, these numbers are only forecasts and not cemented yet. Council is scheduled to debate and approve the final budget during deliberations December 15th through the 19th. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
There's euphoria around the Rough Riders' Grey Cup victory. It's starting to wind down now, but some fans are now voicing their displeasure with how the organization represented themselves amidst that celebration.
How about your Saskatchewan Rough Riders?
So that right there is where most of the concern seems to stem from Tuesday's parade down the Green Mile at the Legislative Building in Regina. Players, of course, were seen drinking alcohol, smoking cigars throughout the event. But the biggest concern was some of the cursing during the speeches, especially from the head coach.
If any of us were bad people or horrible role models, 364 days of the year, then I'd say, we should do better.
When he talks to his players, even if there's a camera around, I think that's fine. Let him say whatever he wants. But when he's out in public, in that respect, presented as this wonderful celebration, I think that you have to be a little bit more guarded.
Despite some of the negative concerns, many have praised the Rough Riders for their exemplary presence in the community throughout the 2025 season. Sentencing for a former private Christian school director has happened. Jeremy Dodge, what is his fate?
Well, Daryl, this former private Christian school director was convicted of 9 counts of assault with a weapon and has been handed an 18-month sentence to be served in the community. In July, John Olababokin was found guilty of using a wooden paddle to hit students while he was director at Christian Center Academy from 2003 to 2007. The school has since changed names twice, first to Legacy Christian Academy, more recently to Valor Academy. A provincial court judge said the gravity of Olababokin's offenses is high and said it had a significant impact on victims. As part of Olababokin's conditions, he must do 150 hours of community service, complete anger management and personal counseling, and he has a nightly curfew. Saskatoon police say warrant enforcement efforts created in the wake of the mass stabbing incident on James Smith Cree Nation have been effective in managing violent offenders in the city. Warrant enforcement teams were expanded and changes to their risk assessment were made so that repeat domestic offenders would be made a higher priority. Saskatoon police say it's accelerated the prosecution of violent offenders and reinforced public safety. But the warrant enforcement unit had a backlog of more than 2,100 criminal code warrants when it began, some of which are no longer prosecutable. To date, the WEU has investigated more than 2,000 offenders, resulting in 354 warrants executed and 257 arrests. Well, Daryl, the city of Regina has released its budget book for 2026 and 27. What's the word?
For the second straight year, it's a large mill rate increase.
Administration has forecasted status quo operating revenues of $636 million and expenses of $687 million. This leaves a funding gap of roughly $51 million. Closing this gap with property tax revenue requires a mill rate increase of 15.69%.
Citizens of Regina.
You can read all about it on our website right now. Regina police have charged 2 more people in the death of a 19-year-old man earlier this month in Regina. Police called to the 1000 block, you'll remember, of 12th Avenue on November 1st, where a 19-year-old man was found dead from a gunshot wound. Yesterday, we told you 20-year-old Jaden Uchu is charged with accessory after the fact to murder. He was in court yesterday. 18-year-old Brandon Kaisawadam is now charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm and will be in court January 5th. Also charged, because there are a number of them, 43-year-old Dana DeLorme, 44-year-old Trevor Whitequill, and a 17-year-old girl with accessory after the fact, and a 16-year-old boy charged with second-degree murder. Tentative sentencing is now set for the man convicted of second-degree murder in the death of Misha Pavlik. The man was found guilty of fatally stabbing Pavlik in 2006 after a month-long trial at Court of King's Bench in Regina. The tentative sentencing hearing is scheduled for March 31st to April 2nd of 2026. The Crown is seeking an adult sentence, which will be argued in court. The man found guilty of second-degree murder in Pavlik's death cannot be named due to the Youth Criminal Justice Act. He was under 18 at the time of the offense. Country Thunder Saskatchewan has officially announced their lineup for 2026. There's a reaction at the Rail Yard Saloon last night. I was hosting that event. Lainey Wilson will join Riley Green and rock band Creed to headline this year's festival. At the same time as our event, there was also a fireside chat happening at another venue in the Warehouse District, where the mayor sat down with festival CEO Troy Volhofer to discuss the impact and the evolution of the festival.
We have now found a way that we're going to try to have something for everybody. So it's just not a country music festival anymore. It's a music festival. So there's a lot of different boundaries that we've broken down. We need to address more fans in a more broader way of enjoying music as a whole.
Other artists set to perform include Gavin Adcock, Cameron Whitcomb, Max McNown, The Dead South, Dasha. We'll hear all about it at 8:40 this morning. Tickets on sale now. Country Thunder runs July 9th through 12th. Let's get over to our weather center and talk to Kayleen Sawatsky about what's our Saturday going to look like.
Well, actually, the weekend is looking really nice. It's into our next work week that we see those temperatures going down. Really try to get outside and enjoy this weekend, though, where we're still seeing temperatures well above that seasonal average. Right now in Regina, -4, the sun's starting to come up. We're seeing a really pretty sunrise out there this morning. If you'd like to go outside and snap some photos, you can send those in to us to Your Morning Saskatchewan at ctv.ca. We would love to show them off. Some winds coming in Regina right now at 11 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, winds are fairly calm, just a few clouds up in the sky, but still nice to see that little bit of a winter wonderland behind us there. -7 to start the day in Saskatoon. Now we are seeing some wind gusts down towards the southwest corner this afternoon. afternoon. Other than that, though, as we look towards the east, we're seeing rather calm winds throughout the afternoon for parts of Saskatchewan, up to about 20 kilometers per hour. The futurecast showing we are seeing a system impacting parts of the province today, but it's mainly way up north with those flurries, and then some freezing rain and flurries going over top of Prince Albert this afternoon. Not really expecting to track down towards Saskatoon, so you are in the clear today. We are expecting to see another system come in on Sunday afternoon, albeit much smaller, going to be bringing some flurries to Prince Albert. We do have a chance that Saskatoon could be seeing just a few of those, but it's just not as likely as seeing them up in Prince Albert. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -10 in Stony Rapids, so we are warming up, if you can believe it. They were down to about -17 just a couple hours ago. -6 right now in Prince Albert, -14 in Spiritwood. Definitely a cool start to the day there. -6 in Hudson Bay. Down towards the south, we're only seeing a few places into the positive integers right now. Assiniboia at 1 degree, Moose Jaw at 1 degree. Swift Current not quite there, just at 0 degrees. Estevan at -7 and Weyburn at -3. Later on this afternoon, we're seeing more of those warmer temperatures down towards the south. So Swift Current up to 8 degrees with that cloud cover this afternoon. Weyburn a little bit more of that sunshine, and Estevan as well. Both of those cities expecting those highs of 7 degrees. Yorkton up to 3 degrees. Prince Albert -2 with those flurries and that freezing rain. Regina today, the high 4 degrees. Warmer for your weekend, 7 degrees for both Saturday and Sunday, well above that seasonal average. That's actually in those negatives. Monday with those flurries dropping down to 0 degrees and then into those minus temperatures later on into your next work week. In Saskatoon, 0 degrees is the high today with that nice mix of sun and cloud. Warmer for your weekend, 3 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and then dropping down for that next work week into those negative temps.
Let's head back to 1988. On this day, Ethel Blondin Andrew became the first First Nations woman elected to the House of Commons. November 21st, 1921, King George V proclaimed Canada's coat of arms. There it is on your screen. And November 21st, 1919, the Golden Boy statue was installed at the top of the Manitoba Legislative Building.
In case you missed it, the Grevin Waxwork Museum in Paris has unveiled a new star attraction. It's Princess Diana in the, quote, revenge dress she wore after the media frenzy over the breakdown of her marriage to Charles. Located in central Paris, often compared to London's Madame Tussauds, the museum already has wax figures of Charles, now King Charles, and the late Queen Elizabeth. This one looks pretty good.
Yeah, I would say this one is pretty good, but there's just something about Princess Diana that it just can't capture.
Pretty good.
But it's wax,
well, yeah.
Right? But they've done a wonderful job with it.
All right, well, brings us around to our question of the day. We're talking about funniest things that your kid have said.
This has to be one of my favorite question of the days that we've ever asked. The answers are just so good. We'll start off with this one. I assume this kid was asked to do something like a chore, and they just said, my teacher says I have choices, and I prefer to not do that. This kid learning about free will rather young. Good one there. Next one we have from Denise. My granddaughter would not believe that I was a twin. I asked her why, and she said, you have more lines on your face than her.
Oh, no.
Denise, you gotta love your grandchildren, but whoo.
But hey, Donna will take that as a compliment for sure.
Another one here. Granddaughter, age 6, after a T-ball game. Can you come over? No, it's a school night. Granddaughter, couldn't you just stop by for one beer?
Just one. Just one.
Just one. Kids just say the darndest things. And from B. Blakely, my daughter was wandering around the house whistling the national anthem, and I made a comment, oh, you're whistling Oh Canada. She said, in all seriousness, yes, but I'm listening to it in French. Just, all right. Random things that kids say. Thank you so much for all of your answers for today's question of the day. It sure made us smile here in the studio.
The provincial government is giving $200,000 in funding to a Regina-based organization to expand grief and trauma counseling services. Caring Hearts gives a range of specialized supports to people dealing with situations like loss of a loved one to suicide. They offer counseling, support groups, healing circles, kids camp, and community support following traumatic events. Last year, they worked with more than 500 families and individuals to help them find their way through the grief of losing a loved one.
I feel very blessed in the sense that we also get to see people find hope again, and see that glimmer come back into their eyes, and I mean, that makes it all worth it.
And that person was in Regina.
The province is putting $624 million towards mental health and addiction services this budget year.
Health Report, brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Blue Cross, protecting your health since 1946.
Let's go back to Boomtown one final time, where our Mike Siona is immersed in the Festival of Trees.
Well, for 40 years, the Festival of Trees has delighted Saskatoon, and it's raised over $3 million as well, which is really, really awesome. And Raylene, we're celebrating, pulling out all the stops. We're on Gingerbread Lane now. This thing is taller than you.
It's an amazing creation by Terry Lynn Ford. This is a professional display. It's over 5 feet tall. It is incredible. You have to see it in person.
And as weird as this might sound, you have to smell it in person because it smells incredible in here right now. I mean, if you know the smell of gingerbread, obviously that's what's here. How many different gingerbread displays are there this year?
We have 24 this year, which is our highest number ever, going all out for the 40th anniversary. They're all created by volunteers, so we are so thankful for their incredible time and talent to create these beautiful displays for you to enjoy.
Now, as we mentioned, this is a fundraising initiative. Last year, over $100,000. We said over $3 million. What are the proceeds going to support this year?
This year, our proceeds will be directed to Saskatoon City Hospital Foundation, and they go towards 109 new acute care beds at Saskatoon City Hospital. So we're really thrilled to be supporting that this year.
Absolutely amazing. Of course, all of the events, the brunches, the big date nights, everything that you can think of is going on here. 79 different trees, and they're going to go fast, right?
They will absolutely go fast. So will the gingerbread displays. You need to come down as soon as you can. We open today, November 21st, and we're open through the 29th from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Check everything out on our website at festival-of-trees.com.
And don't forget, you can win that jewelry that's valued at like $7,000 as well. Thanks. We're fresh out of time. G&G Jewelers. There you go. Get the plug in. Got to do it. It's Festival of Trees. Get down here.
Getting ready to do some holiday season shopping? Well, joining us today is Priscilla Sam, the Senior Marketing Manager, Lego Canada. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Jeff. I'm doing great. How are you this morning?
Great, now that we're in contact with you and talking about Lego brand products. So, first of all, can you tell us why? It seems obvious, but what makes Lego sets such a timeless holiday gift?
Well, if it's play you're looking for, there is a Lego set for you. Builders of all ages, whether you're a kid or an adult, and across different passion interests, we've just have such a diverse and big Lego collection this year. But I think what actually makes Lego sets so timeless is the time that you actually have to build together. So you're not only just gifting something to someone special this season, but Lego sets, you can actually have that time together, which I think is so special during the holiday season.
Absolutely. Now, look, you've got a lovely display there. So can you walk us through some of your top picks for different ages as we go through the holiday season?
Yeah, well, I've got the cutest character in all of the galaxy here in Grogu, and this is his hover pram, so the perfect gift for any Lego Star Wars or Lego Mandalorian fan. And here we've got Lego Creator 3-in-1, so we've got an adult panda here with a baby panda, but what makes this so exceptional and fun is that you can take all of these same bricks, take it apart, and rebuild it into a penguin or an orca. And here we've got Lego Botanical Botanicals, which is our most popular line this year. But these are creativity in bloom. We've got 7 different flowers as part of this set, and perfect for any coworker, friend, teacher, or family on your list. And if you've got a gamer, this is a really nostalgic gift. This is the Lego Game Boy, which is an almost one-to-one replica. We've got a couple of game packs here, but just a very, very cool set.
Very cool indeed. So some of those things are new to me, but tell us about some of the other Lego brand items that are new and exciting for the holiday season.
Yeah, well, this year we had so many exciting partnerships from hit TV shows and movies like a Wicked, like a Wednesday, but also if you're a racing fan, we also have a whole collection of Lego Formula 1 cars. And if you're into anime, we also launched Lego One Piece. So many, many different type of sets across passion points.
All right, so just as we wrap up here, tell me where can our viewers find these Lego brand products?
Yeah, well, any one of your major retailers like Walmart, Amazon, or Lego.ca. And there's really no better time than to start your holiday shopping than now.
Get on it now while the selection is great. So thank you so much. Thanks again to Priscilla Sam for joining us today. She is the Senior Marketing Manager, Lego Canada. So happy holidays to you as well.
Happy holidays. Thanks so much again.
8:30, time to say welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan, and we begin with the government selecting 2 hotels to temporarily provide accommodation for people experiencing homelessness. Public procurement documents show the province is spending about $1.5 million on hotel rooms for vulnerable individuals. A contract worth about $600,000 was awarded to Country Inn and Suites in Saskatoon, $900,000 to the Travelodge Suites in Regina. The NDP slamming the decision to put vulnerable people in hotels.
Not only is this a horrible use of taxpayer dollars, it doesn't give people the supports they need to get back on their feet.
CTV has reached out to the Ministry of Social Services for information on how these rooms will be used. The same hotels were part of a pilot project in 2024. At that time, the government said the rooms would only be used when emergency shelters are full. The provincial government has introduced legislation that recognizes the heritage of Saskatchewan's ethnically diverse population. The act is named after the provincial motto, "From many people's strength." It lays out the framework for declaring special days or weeks that recognize the contribution of cultural groups. Organizations will now only have to apply once, and those dates will be set aside annually.
What this will do, this act will create a framework so that documentation supporting and describing the important roles that the cultural communities play within the act, and they will automatically be recognized every year from here on moving forward. And it will also provide us with the opportunity to add more.
There are 160 cultural organizations or more operating here. Saskatchewan NDP held a town hall over at the Gallagher Centre Thursday night in Yorkton to discuss the need for a new hospital in that city. The major project has been discussed since 2011, but yet to come to fruition. In October, Yorkton's Sask Party MLA David Chan told CTV in an email that the government will deliver on its promise to build a new hospital, though he didn't share details about the project's timeline. One more sleep until the U of S Huskies will do battle with the Montreal Caravan at the Vanier Cup at Mosaic Stadium. And much like the school's name, the roster is truly Saskatchewan with 16 communities represented. Jacob Carr reports.
The University of Saskatchewan Huskies took to the Mosaic Stadium turf for the first time this week, beginning their penultimate preparations for the Vanier Cup. And according to the team's head coach, being back in the big game for the first time since back-to-back losses in 2021 and 2022 is a result of a solid locker room.
I think our veteran leadership, the core of the team has been there, but I think that what I saw this year is just the growth of our veteran leadership, and especially these two guys.
These two guys are fifth-year linebacker Seth Hundeby and fifth-year running back Riker Frank. The duo are among dozens of Saskatchewan-born players on the roster, and Hundeby says he cannot wait to see the atmosphere from the home crowd on Saturday.
I'm excited to see who comes out. I know, I got to show to my family. They said they're coming down for sure, and they'd follow me everywhere, and that's quite a few people as well. So I gotta give a lot of support and love back to them because they're amazing.
Frank grew up playing in the Queen City before taking his talents up Highway 11. Both he and Hundeby recognize the magnitude of what winning a national championship in their home province would mean.
It is a nice full circle moment for me, getting to play my last Husky game here back in my hometown. And yeah, this is a special game for us. We've gone through a lot this season on and off the field. It's no secret. So yeah, we know there's a lot riding on this one.
I think that would mean the most, and the amount of work that like all of us guys have put in, working towards this to this moment. It would be super duper special to share that with the fellas, and it'd be long lasting memories for a lifetime.
Hundeby and Frank will look to be key contributors and leaders on Saturday against a formidable Montreal Caravan outfit. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
New details are emerging this morning on the UPS crash that left 14 people dead in Kentucky, including images of the moment the engine detached during takeoff. Trevor Alt reports.
This morning, chilling new images taken moments before that catastrophic UPS cargo flight crash that killed 14 people near Louisville Airport. The NTSB releasing these surveillance photos showing the plane taking off with its left engine initially intact, but then it broke away from the wing, tilting up and bursting into flames. The report says the MD-11 plane only made it about 30 feet off the ground before crashing into an industrial neighborhood. Stunning video shows a massive fireball erupting, people scrambling away from the flames, running to safety, a trail of destruction left behind. All 3 crew members and 11 people on the ground were killed. The NTSB has now recovered parts from the 34-year-old plane, identifying issues with the left pylon, which attached the engine to the wing, saying it showed evidence of fatigue cracks and areas of overstress failure.
We do know that the aircraft underwent some maintenance 2 weeks prior where they were supposed to look at this area, but you can't always visually identify these kinds of fatigue cracks. They're very, very fine and often takes an X-ray machine to find them.
And as the investigation continues, the FAA has now grounded all MD-11, MD-10, and DC-10 aircraft for further inspection. Trevor Alt, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A game about a funeral may not sound like a party, but one Saskatoon man is proving otherwise. As Stacey Hine reports, a pandemic idea years in the making is finally on store shelves.
I was born without a blank, but I had an extra blank.
It's a pandemic idea that's now come to life. The party game Eulogy promises to put the fun in funerals.
It puts you and your party at a funeral, and the game's going to help you create the character that you're there to mourn the loss of.
Players pick a character card, name it, and follow that character through 6 stages of life using fill-in-the-blank prompts. Then at the end, one player delivers a 3-minute eulogy. Last fall, Barassa produced 30 prototypes and even bought a hearse to help market the game. Recently, the first shipment of 1,500 games arrived, just as he became a father to twins.
Yeah, it was kind of like the worst timing. It was our twins had just been born, and they were in NICU for two weeks, and then we had just gotten home, and then I got an email saying, your games are about to arrive.
He says the chaos is worth it because he believes in the game's potential.
I have the most confidence in the game. I have less confidence in my ability to take it there, but the game itself I have the most confidence in.
He estimates he and his wife have played the game about 1,000 times, and he's already thinking about a spin-off.
The title's called Till Death, and we're just going to create a wedding couple the exact same way.
Barassa is trying to get Eulogy on store shelves, but for now, it can be ordered on his website, eulogyboardgames.com. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A BC company is taking care of business for fans who can't help falling in love with Elvis, stitching together costumes fit for a king. Andrew Johnson puts on his blue suede shoes for a closer look.
Inside a modest Nanaimo, BC home, you'll find one of the world's only major suppliers of a certain sort of swagger.
They're beautiful. You know, I never get tired of working on them.
Stitch by stitch, Eleanor von Bedeker and her staff recreate the signature look of one of the past century's brightest stars.
I think it's just Elvis is the full package.
I hope this suit don't tear up, baby.
A big part of the Elvis Presley package, his iconic 1970s jumpsuits, complete with cape. Von Bedeker, a costumer by trade, started making them for Elvis tribute artists close to 20 years ago. Now, with 8 employees, she can barely keep up with demand, shipping out 600 jumpsuits a year, each priced between $1,000 and $4,000. And her clients' average age may surprise you.
Teenagers or young adults who are just getting started.
Young performers like Jonathan Hicks, a.k.a. Johnny Elvis, who comes to Eleanor.
It's a little tight across the thighs.
To perfect his look, impersonating the man he has idolized since he was 5.
I try to really study, go on my iPad, or I watch YouTube videos of him in the 70s. It's full time, and I'm very, very blessed to showcase my talent.
Hicks makes a living channeling Elvis full time, which I discovered is harder than it looks.
You do this whole stance, microphone in.
Left hand is mic.
Then you can do a shimmy, you know? Faster. Come on. Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a labor of love for both Johnny and Eleanor, 2 of many, keeping the legend alive close to 50 years after Presley's death.
For my darling, I love you.
Andrew Johnson, CTV News, Nanaimo, BC.
There we go. Yeah.
How much practice do you
My mom loved The King, so that was a nice little piece there to run this week.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the weather forecast.
All right. Well, I was almost a little late there,
No,
but
you
I'm
got
here.
late-breaking weather news. I understand.
Exactly.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, the late-breaking news this morning is just that the sun is up finally. It was taking so long to come up this morning. It's getting a little bit warmer, if you can call -4 warmer, but warmer than the -7 that we were at just a few minutes ago. Winds coming in at 11 kilometers per hour with that mix of sun and cloud. Mix of sun and cloud in Saskatoon as well, where we're still stuck at that -7 degree mark right now, with winds also coming in at 7 kilometers per hour. Winds not really going to be increasing all too much for many areas to the east today. Down in the southwest corner is where we could see those peaking up to about 35 or 40 kilometers per hour. Futurecast showing that we are seeing some more precipitation in the province today. It's just mainly way up north. Prince Albert could be seeing some of those flurries as well, and some of that freezing rain. So travel carefully if you're waking up with us in Prince Albert or in areas around La Ronge or around Nipawin this morning. Into the weekend, however, though, we're not looking like we're seeing a ton of the precipitation on Saturday. We are seeing a little bit more come in on Sunday afternoon, although it is a very small system bringing some flurries around Prince Albert. Current temperatures now, we're seeing -6 to wake us up in La Ronge, -5 in Nipawin, -14 in Spiritwood. So definitely a cooler start to the day there. -11 to wake us up in North Battleford. In Moose Jaw, we're at 1 degree for Assiniboia as well, and -7 to wake us up in Estevan right now. We're seeing warmer temperatures down towards the south today. Prince Albert cooler, so -2 with those flurries, -1 in the Battlefords, and 0 degrees for Saskatoon. Down towards the south, though, 8 degrees for Swift Current, 7 degrees for Weyburn, and 7 degrees for Estevan. Let's take a look now at this 7-day forecast. We do have just a little bit of snow on the way in the forecast here, and temperatures looking really nice for the weekend. So getting warmer tomorrow, Saturday, up to 7 degrees on Sunday as well. Monday with those flurries dropping down to 0 degrees, and then -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and -9 on Thursday. However, I do want to point out that for Regina and Saskatoon, late in the evening on Thursday, we have a system on our radar that is coming in, seeming like we could be getting some more flurries again just late in the evening on next Thursday. Before that, though, Saskatoon looking pretty clear from that precipitation. 0 degrees today, we mentioned 3 degrees tomorrow, 2 degrees on Sunday, and then dropping down into those negatives for your next work week. So Monday, -3, -5 on Tuesday, -8 on Wednesday, and dropping down to -9 on Thursday during the day, -11 overnight when we could be seeing those flurries.
That song hit number 7 on the Billboard charts in 2000, and now you can hear it live at Country Thunder, Saskatchewan. Creed will headline along with Lainey Wilson and Riley Green. And we're learning more about the whole lineup this morning as we welcome in Megan Benoit from Country Thunder Festivals. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to...
I was excited last night. You played the video, and the biggest eruption, I think, was for Creed last night. Were you surprised?
I was and I wasn't. I was because Riley Green came out first and like huge round of applause, and I was like, oh no, like how can we top the cheer that we had?
It just got bigger.
It just got bigger and bigger. You know, the rock thing works here. We tried it with Nickelback as a fun little experiment, and it did amazing. And then Def Leppard was awesome last year, so we wanted to keep it going.
And to get them back, I mean, basically out of retirement to come and do the festival, it's incredible.
Yeah, we're very excited. It was, you know, a very last-minute confirmation from them, and it was like Christmas morning for us when we got that sign-off, and
that's awesome.
So excited to have them.
Last time a female headlined Country Thunder was a few years back, so it's nice to see Lainey Wilson on the headline bill.
Entertainer of the Year.
Yeah.
So, you know, we know that people were disappointed that she skipped out on Regina on her Canadian tour. This was the reason for that. So people who are lucky enough to go to Saskatoon and see her, they know what a great show she puts on, and she's even bigger and better at a festival stage.
And Riley Green is an obvious choice this timing.
Yeah, I mean, easy on the ears and on the eyes.
Right.
And another.
That's a man's mustache.
Yeah, like women love him and
men want to be him.
Yeah, like he's a great fit. He's also you know, award winner, hot artist right now. So, you know, I think that there's a trifecta with our headliners this year. I'm very excited about them.
You go for the headliners, but you stay in the pit for hours for the undercard. What made this undercard special?
So we've got a ton of Canadian artists this year, which we always love to showcase. I know Saskatchewan's very excited about the Dead South, Kelsey Kulik, another Saskatchewan native. Even our direct support artists this year, Gavin Adcock, Cameron Whitcomb.
Gavin could arguably headline this festival this year or next.
Absolutely. I mean, he's on fire. Same with Cameron. He is Canada's breakthrough artist right now. He's incredible live. And Max McNown is kind of a viral sensation.
He just sold out Saskatoon like that and with no advertising.
Yeah, it's the three of them are going to be just as amazing as the headliners. So I think that whole package at the top 6 is going to be pretty fantastic on that main stage. And then, yeah, throughout the day, lots of Canadians. I'm a really big Nolene Hoffman fan, so definitely check her out.
Is that what this festival's kind of about? I mean, everybody knows the headliners, but in a few years we can look back and go, we saw them play at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday.
Exactly. I was talking to someone last night at our launch party, and she said, I had never heard of Mackenzie Carpenter before, and I am now her biggest fan. She was a 2 o'clock artist last year, and even if you're not familiar with them, you'll see them live, and that's the best way to be introduced to a new artist.
Where do people get tickets?
CountryThunder.com. We've got our layaway plan this year, $20 down. Secure your experience now, pay later.
Yeah, that's a nice thing, especially with Christmas coming.
Yes.
Country Thunder Festivals, CountryThunder.com for more.
An unlikely friendship is forming in outer space.
We have a doctorate in molecular biology.
And I ride a bike to work, and it's not for exercise.
This is the second trailer for Project Hail Mary starring Ryan Gosling. It's based on Andy Weir's New York Times best-selling novel of the same name. The film is out in March. Shows of the Oasis Live 25 World Tour are happening this weekend. The final performance is in Brazil on Sunday. There were a total of 41 concerts, including a 2-night stop in Toronto back in August. It was the first time the Gallagher brothers played together in Canada in 17 years. Dolls performed some of their songs for the Tiny Desk concert. Their performance included the 1998 track Slide, which you just heard, and they played their iconic track Iris. They just announced their Las Vegas residency at the Venetian starting in May of next year. Tickets go on sale today.
I'm not a cat person, but they are so cute.
Wow, they're so small. Oh my God.
And And the cast of Stranger Things sat down with BuzzFeed for an interview. And of course, they were in good company. The main cast played with the kittens while answering questions on their final season. The first 4 episodes of season 5 begin streaming next Wednesday. The Upside Down comes to an end on New Year's Eve. That's today's entertainment report.
Brandon Hall from Pure Country Afternoons, and here is the Pure Country Top 5 for this week. We start out with a great Canadian country duo. It's Nate Holler, Tennille Townes, and Backfire. Brand new to the countdown, jumping in from the Canadian Country Music Entertainer of the Year for 2025. It's the wonderful Josh Ross with his latest, Hate How You Look. Still holding on, clawing in on the top 5. It's been here for months. At number 3, Jordan Davis, Bar None. One of the biggest artists in the world occupies the 2nd spot. Up 1 from last week. It's Luke Combs, Back in the Saddle. And sitting top, number 1, the biggest song on our Pure Country Top 5 for this week. It's Morgan Wallen with his monster hit, I Got Better. And that is this week's Pure Country Top 5. For more, you can follow us at purecountry927.ca.
Now to the dance moves taking the world by storm. ABC's Sam Champion has the story.
This morning, she's the teen shocking the crowd at Zara Larsson's concert in Amsterdam, opening up about how she found herself in the middle of a viral moment.
I panicked a little bit. I was like, oh my God, now it's really happening.
Video of 16-year-old Julia Sophie Koster joining the megastar on stage for her song Lush Life has racked up tens of millions of views.
The first thing I thought when I saw her, it was like, whoa, you're so tiny and your makeup is perfect. It makes me also happy because I see people being happy about that video, and that makes me even happier.
Julia nailing every step like a pro. No hesitation, no mistakes. Zara cheering her on as the crowd roars. Zara and her dancers always electrifying, like here in the GMA studio in September. Zara sending us a special message to share with Julia.
Hi, Julia. I just wanted to say that being on stage with you was such an honor. And look at what you have created. Like, the way that people are bringing this energy up on stage every night, inspired by you, is so incredible.
Oh my God, that's insane. That's insane. This video, it means the world to me. I'm never gonna delete it, and I'm gonna watch it every night.
I love that. A big moment for her.
Yeah, that is
Could you
a
imagine?
main character moment.
Any of those videos where they get pulled up on stage and they perform, even if it's poorly, like, my goodness.
Yeah, that's main
what would she
character
draw?
energy
Like 60, 30,000 people?
I love that she hit every single beat. Good for her.
Absolutely. Time to get to our sidebar where we've got more dance partners. Can't find a superstar to dance with. Maybe it's just your cat. Is this video from producer Nathan's house with his cat, the Right Honorable?
Oh, I mean, it might as well
cat.
be. I get a video of producer Nathan's cat every single day. It's one of my favorite parts of my day.
I wish. I got to get on the Snapchat so I get some of these.
Yeah, that on the Snapchat.
The Snapchat, on the Insta.
Spoken like a true young person.
I'm hip and I am with it. Oh, man. Okay, well, your turn.
All right, well, here's a kid that's living their best life.
Man.
Make him a star.
I think we just
Look
did.
at him. Wow. know. What a voice.
We're not the only station running this morning in this country.
This is amazing.
Look at him go.
That's the theme song from the classic 80s movie Mannequin.
Yeah, nothing goes, my good, like he's well too young for this song.
So good.
Well too young.
Yeah, but he's multitasking. It looks like he's making some snacks there. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us this week on Your Morning Saskatchewan. We appreciate you. We're back on Monday. Enjoy the Vanier Cup. If you're going out that way, we'll see you back here first thing bright and early or dark and early on Monday.